Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some very nifty and also kind of somewhat intriguing news when it comes to all these big console restocks, and as well just overall how good certain consoles are going. When it comes to this, we actually have a very intriguing information from a pretty higher up when it comes to Microsoft, and it kind of seems like they're getting a little bit, a little feisty on their comments. And if you guys actually happen to know, you guys follow stocks, we actually have the Microsoft, like the overall company itself, have their earnings call that happened throughout this week, and we actually had some very intriguing information when it comes to the Xbox, when it comes to the PlayStation, when it comes to overall like which console's technically winning, and as well some very interesting comments coming over here from, like I said, some higher ups when it comes to Microsoft and Xbox and all of that. A lot of intriguing stuff we're gonna maybe dive into first and foremost on the console side, but then as well part two maybe on just the general company side, because as you guys know, Microsoft actually did a very good job when it came to earnings, when it comes to production, when it came to everything else, and we'll also be closely waiting for Sony to do theirs in these next upcoming few days. But when it comes to that, usually like whenever Sony does it, because we get a lot of information, because when you guys know when it comes to earnings, they're basically being like, yeah, the company's doing good here, the company's doing bad here, the next 6 months should be good. So we always get a little bit of good restock information, but as well, overall company information. So we have a lot of stuff to go talk about for this one, and we kind of talked about this somewhat before, but this is a little bit newer information too as well. So a lot of stuff to go talk about, so make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. We have the Twitter link down below for the PlayStation 5 giveaway, and the Twitter and Twitch down below if you guys want to follow. Amazon links as well, and the Weeble and Coinbase, and also Xbox is up on Best Buy down below. And let's go dive in the video itself. So we actually kind of covered up some of this stuff as well. The Xbox has actually done it phenomenally well. We had proper, really big, like, industry analysts that kept on saying how the Xbox is actually kind of winning. Now, in regards to the general sense, the PlayStation 5, as of right this second, has sold more. It's just in actual numbers, we have them, actually, Sony themselves have been producing the numbers, and although Xbox has not given us an exact number, all the analysts and pretty much everyone out there have all been assuming the total numbers, from people who do this as like their literal job to watch is analytics. So right now, the Xbox has had a huge spike up, and we keep on mentioning that because even literally right this second, you guys could literally go use a link down below and literally buy an Xbox, or you could literally go and buy it directly from Microsoft itself. Like Microsoft, as of right this second, has consoles in stock on their website, or like I said too as well when it comes to Best Buy. So as we go and see this, it just kind of goes to show that, well, the demand is maybe a little bit on the lesser side, because obviously if it was still huge, it'd be selling out like it was a few months ago, but it does also kind of mean that Microsoft's been very consistent in churning out as many consoles as they possibly can. And obviously throughout these past few months, whether it's from walk-ins or in stores, they've been doing phenomenally well. And we even covered up this news too, that basically in a lot of regions such as the UK and even now the United States, the Xbox has been winning these past few months. And it does kind of go and show that some of the Xbox executives are also kind of getting a little cocky on it, but there's nothing wrong, I think, with that because, well, it's all true information. So, as we kind of had a chance to go and cover here is from the NPD reports as well, that pretty much put PlayStation on the very last place when it came to stock in general. It hasn't been good, so let's go dive a little bit more on the article from Push Square, where at the latest round of the NPD results, in the United States, were basically already underlined, Sony actually had a serious headache when it came to the PlayStation 5 stock, or more so the lack thereof. While ironically, things have started to improve in the past few days, the dream of transitioning PS4 players at an unexpected pace now looks long dead. Mainly because we just haven't been seeing as many PlayStation 5 drops. We still have been seeing them, they still have been happening, although it's a really big difference between being in stock for like an hour, or maybe in your stores as we've been covering up for the day-to-day videos, versus say Xbox, where you could literally go buy one at Best Buy down below with the link. And people have been doing that. Like I've been suggesting that people have been literally buying it as we've been promoting it on Twitter and also community posts and all that stuff. So with the $1 trillion Microsoft also digging a few billion out of the back of its sofa to buy up publishers like Bethesda, and if you guys missed that news too as well, we cover that, there actually is now also a confirmed Xbox event in terms of June, so just a few weeks away, for us to hopefully finally see some new games coming soon. And as well, same with the Activision Blizzard stuff, which is still ongoing. And as well, Overwatch 2, which I've actually been playing up on Twitch. The road ahead looks like rough for PlayStation's position of dominance. And that also I would kind of agree. Like right now, the PlayStation still has a premium. People are still buying them pretty much instantly. It's just the restocks have to get big. So it just has to flood the market so we don't have to worry about the restocks every single day as we have been doing on our channel for a while. And after starting the generation strong, the stock issue is now really catching up to the PlayStation 5. Speaking as part of a corporate chest-beating meeting, which is a funny thing over here, Microsoft bigwig Satya Nadella explained that his company's newest console has now taken share globally for 2 quarters in a row and was the market leader this quarter among next-gen consoles in the United States, Canada, UK, and a lot of Western Europe. Translation from executive speak: the Xbox Series X and S has outsold the PlayStation 5, not the Nintendo Switch, it's like countries, in the past 2 quarters in a row. Which you guys can actually see, there's actually a lot more information too as well we'll dive on into, but you guys can see this over here from this where with our Xbox Series X and S consoles, we have taken share globally for 2 quarters in a row, and we're market leader this quarter among the next-gen consoles in the United States, and as we mentioned, and also with Xbox Cloud Gaming. More than 10 million people have streamed games to date, and we expand the service to 4 new countries. So it's kind of the same thing when it comes to PS Now, PS Plus, as we've been watching pretty closely. But as well, also on top of that too, the billions of hours have been now played by Game Pass subscribers over the past 12 months is now even up 45%. And as you guys know, Game Pass is always the biggest thing, and especially with now a lot of controversy behind the PlayStation Plus highest tiers and taking away tiers, etc. We kind of covered up on our channel. It kind of goes to show that people keep on lingering towards the Xbox Game Pass, whether it's up on PC or Xbox. And Azure gaming revenue to this day for the fiscal year is also once again increased on 66%, which is also insane to see number-wise, because it's also the comparison of, say, like PS Now going up 66%. Our portfolio of durable digital businesses and diverse business models built on a common tech stack position us well to capture the massive opportunities ahead. So these are all the really biggest people too when it comes to these, these are big higher ups that have access to this information, and they're getting a little bit cocky, and there's nothing wrong with that too. I think it's just true. It's just true information. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does kind of go to show that the PlayStation 5, even Xbox is calling them out. Even Xbox is assuming that they're kind of slacking. Even Xbox themselves are like, hey, what are you going to do, Sony? We paid extra money for chips. We're making consoles. You can literally go buy it right this second. What are you going to go and do? And that's kind of what I want to know too, because we still are seeing Sony restocks, but with all their like kind of doom and gloom and also turning out the less amount of restocks for it, it is a little bit on the harder side. Now, I still personally think the PlayStation 5 has better games, and hopefully the next upcoming conference for June 12th will be a little bit more, nice to see. Mainly because we just want to have games in the lookout. We want to see games from Bethesda. You can even see Bethesda trending up on Twitter. But at the end of the day, it's just like, we just need more stuff. So as you guys can see from this stuff too as well, Microsoft, funny enough, does not go and report on hardware sales numbers, so we'll never know exactly how much it's going, but all the initial notions are basically people being like, hey, this is just very high stock. Hey, this is one like the biggest, everything's just going really well. The numbers are doing great. It's been better since even the Xbox 360, and everything's been kind of going pretty good. And this is also, like I said, kind of coming off the Microsoft earnings, which, for me at least, is kind of intriguing to note, because Microsoft did very, very well. Now, once again, though, Sony's a little bit more on the closeness, where they're like, yeah, well, we sold 3 million consoles this quarter. We're expecting to sell 4 million next quarter, which might be really good news or really bad news for restocks. But it kind of goes to show that Microsoft is kind of taking a pretty big market. Now, once again, the PlayStation 5 still has sold more by quite a big margin, and they can't always come back, There's always an ebb and flow when it comes to production and making things, but it is kind of intriguing to go and see how well the Xbox is doing. And as of the current moment, it does seem like the PlayStation 5 is technically losing. The past 2 quarters, especially if you factor in Black Friday, where we saw a lot of Xbox Series S sales going on. At this point, the Xbox is definitely catching up. Now, I'm one of those people who don't really care. As long as gaming as a whole is doing well and there's new games coming out and everyone who's watching my videos or Twitch streams or whatever are happy, myself included, I'm kind of happy. I'm not an extremist on either side. But it is something kind of concerning because you can just tell. The Xbox is just in stock. The Xbox Series S is just in stock. Microsoft is basically pulling off the impossible when it comes to this huge semiconductor and just production and supply chain issues everywhere, and they're doing phenomenal. You have to give credit where credit's due, while the PlayStation 5 is still kind of hovering and still kind of waiting to go and see what happens. So, it can kind of go either way. I'm not really 100% sure exactly what's going to happen throughout these next 6 months, especially. It'll probably have a little bit more guidance too as well when it comes to Sony when they do have their official stock meeting to kind of see if it's good or bad. But it really does kind of seem like a lot of things are kind of on edge. It kind of seems like some things are just not going so well for PlayStation. And now whether it's restocks, whether it's productions or anything of the sort, it does kind of go to show that Xbox is actually kind of somewhat winning these past few months. So like I said, at the end of the day, as long as gaming as a whole is going good, I'm happy, but kind of give me your thoughts and comments down below. Are you guys happy with this? Did you guys go recently buy an Xbox? Are you guys still waiting for your PlayStation? And do you guys even care about this kind of nonsense back and forth or not? But I always feel like the analytical side is always very intriguing, especially if you guys kind of look through Frank's other various comments too as well, where it kind of shows to show like, you know, the Microsoft Edge browser is gaining share. We actually have a lot more people kind of growing up. They actually have like 100 million PC games, PCs, just PCs in general, that have been being shipped with obviously has Microsoft on it. And it just kind of goes to show how huge all these comments are when it comes to Microsoft as an overall comprehensive company, whether it's for like Teams or whether it's for like, you know, meeting with people on LinkedIn, whether it has something to do with anything else. It's kind of crazy to see. So, kind of give me your thoughts and comments down below on this one as well. I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 Digital Console Controller. Twitter giveaway as well down below. We have the Weeble and Coinbase and all the other good stuff too as well. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. I'll see you guys up on the next one.